Hey, what's up everybody? So today we're going to take a look at like a beginner's tutorial on how to create your own 3D models. Now we're using the Vectric Aspire. It is the 9.5 version, but it works for basically every version, the 10 and the 9 and all that good stuff. But a lot of people, what they do is they go out and they try to find what's called a 3D grayscale or a BMP map or a height map or whatever you want to call them. And they want to create something like this. They want to be able to create their own models. Now, before we get started, I am going to let you know straight out, this is for beginners only. There's a ton of different ways to create these models. Very detailed. You have a lot of different tools in your Vectric, but even sculpting and just all kind of stuff, but we're not going to go there. We're going to do that in later videos. I just want to give you how to turn a 2D picture into a 3D model the easiest way possible. So that's what we're going to do, create something like this. Now, I did this here. We're not going to do this one. I want to show you something a little bit easier. So let me show you how I do this. So we got a brand new Vectric right here, a new file that we are creating. We're going to click this button right here, create file, and let's just turn this to a 10 and a 10, and we'll just go 2 inches. Just gives us a little bit more working room, and we're going to hit OK. So now we have our blank, and then what I'm going to come over here and do is I'm going to come over and I'm going to get a drawing actually. I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag it from the top left, and I'm going to drag it down. Doesn't need to be perfect because this is just a tutorial on how to do this. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to modeling, and we're just going to hit apply. And let me bring up my 3D mode here. And what that'll do is it'll show us working on this at the same time in the 3D mode compared to just the 2D mode. So once this loads up, for some reason it's taking a little bit longer, but there you go. Let me click this again, and we don't want that. We want to bring this to a flat height, and I think we are pretty good there. I think that's good. Let's just leave it at the 0 or wherever we were at. But okay, so now we have our blank board. So now what we need to do is create our model, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a simple Mickey Mouse, and all I did was I went to Google and I typed in Mickey Mouse drawing, and I'll show you that here in a second. Now this right here is our Mickey Mouse head that we are going to do, and it's pretty basic. It's just black and white and nothing special, right? Not a lot of detail. Again, this is a beginner's tutorial. There's much more advanced videos that we'll do later down the road. I just want to try getting you started. But yep, you can see the Mickey Mouse head. Now, you can go in there and you can create your bitmap right on the Vectric Aspire software, but we're not going to do that because I just don't like it all that much. So I always use Inkscape, and that's what I've been using on my 2D files for the Carbide Create and Carbide Motion, and it works just fine. So all we need to do is we are going to open that up, the Inkscape, and it is a free download, 100% legit. A lot of people use it. I've been using it. I'm going to left click that. I'm going to drag my Mickey head mouse right there, Mickey Mouse head right in there. I'm going to open that up, and now we have our picture. So now that we have our Mickey Mouse picture, what we need to do is create a bitmap, and that is telling the machine where to go and where to carve, and it's basically your codes for the machine. So we're going to left click on the Mickey Mouse head. Once you click on the Mickey Mouse head, you're going to come up to the path, and then you are going to be able to create that bitmap. So there you go. You can see we clicked on it, then we're going to hit path, we're going to go trace bitmap, we're going to hit update, and then we're going to hit OK. And now what happens, we're going to get out of this here. Now what happens is you'll have 2 pictures here, and one is your bitmap and one is the original picture. The one on top is your bitmap. So this is what we're going to keep, and we're going to delete this one right here. And how you save that is basically go to, after you delete that last one, you go to File, and then just hit Save As, and you can see down here it says Inkscape SVG, and you can change it to whatever you want. So we'll go Mick SVG Carve, and then that will save it to our desktop, and we'll hit Save, and that's all you have to do. Now we need to import this into our Vectric. All right, now that we're back at the Vectric, we're going to open this. And the way you usually open files is you would go to two little birdies right here, create a component, or import a component. We're not going to do that. We are going to go to import on the file. We're going to go import vectors, and then we're going to look for our Mickey. So MIC right here is the one we saved. We're going to hit that. We're going to hit open, and now you can see it brought in our bitmap. And now we have to work on this, right? You still see there's nothing there. So we need to turn this into a 3D model. Now, the way it used to be is you could go to what was called ArtCam, and ArtCam was a really popular product or a software that people would use to make 3D models. And you can still buy it on eBay, but ArtCam is no longer there. You can't buy it off their main website. Now I think they're called Carvecchio, and it's like $8,000 for that program. So there's other ways of going around and doing that. So, and this is why I'm showing you here. And this might not be the best way to do it, but again, it is a beginner's tutorial, and there are more advanced ways of doing this, but this is the easiest so far. So what we need to do is we need to come over here and we need to start creating certain components, right? And the way I usually do it is I'll start out with eyes first, and well, let's just show you. So let me bring this over here a little bit. Let me bring this over here. Let me bring this up here. We're gonna start with the eyes. So I'm going to left click that, and I'm going to shift and then left click the eyes, and look what happens. You're gonna come over to modeling, and you know, I'm not really sure how I want these to be yet. I think I want them to be a little bit beveled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit apply. And you can see now that I have two little eyeballs, but we still have to fix those up. And once you're done importing all these or modeling all these, you can go back and fine tune them. But we're going to bring those down. We're going to bring that up. I want the bevel. I want to bring the base height down just a little bit. Nope, too much. I don't want it to go negative. 0.1, oh, way too much, way too much. You just got to mess around with it here. And we'll go -2. I don't want -2, I want 0. Let's go 0. Let's see here, 0. See what happens. We'll hit apply. Yeah, a little bit better. And again, you're going to fiddle around with these here. I'm not sure why this is being so fickle. Let me hit apply. Let me see 0.01. Yeah, it's still a little bit too much. Let's just go 0, and we'll mess around with this here once we get them all transported in. So there you go right there. All right, so now what we want to do is we're going to click on this outside line here as the outside of the eyeballs, and we're going to get a modeling here just like we did. I think I want these flat. The base height, we're going to try 0.1. We'll see how that works out. And then we're going to hit apply. And okay, I think the base height's a little bit too high. I don't know. We're going to mess with this. Let me try 0.0 again. I think it's going to bring it right up to the board, but yeah. So we'll go 0.1, and again, we're going to fine tune these later. We'll hit apply. Okay, so that's where we're at with those. So now what I want to do is I think I want to do the nose because that's easy. And let's go eyes outside. We'll hit apply. And then we're going to hit close, and that way they'll stay there. And then we're going to hit the nose here, and I want that to have a little bit of a bump to it. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to hit model, and I'm going to hit little nose bump right here, and I'm going to hit apply. So there's your little nose bump. But again, you can change this up right here. You know, you can make that like really rounded if you want. It's really all depending on what you're going for. I don't know if I want that base height. Let me see if I can change that base height to 0. Again, we'll just fine tune here in a bit. We'll hit apply, and you know, there you go. So let me bring that up a little bit. I'm just trying to get a base here. Okay, so now we got the nose. Now you have the mouth. And the mouth, you want that thing to go inwards. You do not want that mouth to, you know, stand out. So what we're going to do, and did I save this, by the way? Let me see here. My nose, close, hit close. Oh, I didn't save it. That's why. Okay, so we're just going to hit this again. We're going to hit that, and it'll save where we're at. We got to hit apply. I always forget to hit apply. And we're going to hit nose, and that'll stay the same. We'll hit apply, and then we'll hit close. Now that'll stay. So now what I want to do is the mouth. So I'm going to left click on that, and I'm going to model. And what I think I want to do, I want that flat. We're going to go inwards here, and we're going to say mouth. We'll hit apply. And let's see, I think we need to adjust this a little bit. So there you go, bring that down. I think it's, nope, we got to bring that this way. There you go, way too deep. I think we want that as like a 1, 0.1. Let's hit apply. And I think that's good. 0.1, we'll hit apply, and then we'll hit close. And now we need the tongue. So I'm going to left click on that, and it selects it. And we're going to go modeling. And I think I want the tongue to have a little bit of contour to it. Let's see here. I want to try. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so yeah, I like that. You know, I think that looks pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so we'll name this tongue. We're going to hit apply, and we're going to hit close. We're just trying to make the components right now. We'll worry about these eyes here because I don't like the way they look, but we'll fix it. I'm going to just drag that over. So now what I want to do is I want the outside of the head. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to hit model. We're going to go flat. We're going to go head, outside, whatever. Name it whatever you want. We'll hit apply. And there's the outside of the head. I don't think we want that to do this here. Let's try that. Maybe. We'll mess around with it here. We'll see how it looks. We'll bring that down a little bit. It's just too much. Let's bring that down. Okay. Let's just do it flat right now. And then we'll mess around with it. We'll hit apply. That's why we're naming all of these, because we want to be able to come back and mess around with them. Okay, and now what we need is the inside of the face right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit model. And I'm going to go like this here with the contour. And we're going to hit apply. And we're just going to see what happens here. Okay, so there you go. It's a little bit crazy, but we're going to fix this up. And we're going to see how that works out. We're going to bring this down just a hair because that's really kind of crazy. I think maybe 27 looks pretty good. All right, so let's mess around with this here and see what we can do. All right, so now what I think I'm going to do to get these eyeballs down here a little bit, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click here. You know what, let's move these to a different level so I don't mess with other stuff. What I'm going to do is we're going to go, I think their eyes inside. No, I want eyes outside. We want these to come down a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click off these because I want to be able to look into those eyes here. I want to look into Mickey's eyes. I think their eyes outside. Yeah. So let me right click this. I'm going to move this. I'm going to move to a different level. New level, level 2. That's fine. We'll hit OK. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get rid of that head. Let me go here to scale, size, and height. And let's try to bring that down to, I don't know, 50% maybe? Somewhere close, 49.6 I think is fine. And I think that's a little bit better. So I'm just going to hit OK. I'm going to hit cancel. And then I'm going to turn all these back on. I think that is fine. Again, it's just trying to, just a quick way. So now what we have is our Mickey head. I'm going to drag this over here. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to left click the outside here. I'm going to come over here. Let me scroll this over. And I'm going to hit this right here, apply smoothing. And you can see it automatically kind of does something here. Now you can bring these out into a 45-degree angle if you want, but I'm not really concerned about that. Don't go too much. If you go too much, it's going to be a little bit crazy. But actually, you know what? I don't think that looks all that bad. I think we're just going to leave it like this right here. And I think that looks kind of cool. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, okay, we're gonna hit okay. We're not gonna bake that yet. Let's go, I just want, let me go to the inside here. We're gonna hit smooth. And I think that looks kind of cool. You know, you can make this more rounded if you wanted to. Again, if you go too smooth, you're going to end up with this. You're going to lose a lot of the detail. But we're going to bring this down here. Yeah, I think this looks good. Let's go right there. I think that looks pretty cool. I think the base is up a little bit too high, but yeah, I'm just trying to give you the general point of this. So let's hit, I think it looks fine. Actually, you know what? I want those ears. We got to make one more component here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go, watch this. I don't like those ears right there. So check this out. We're going to go drawing. We're going to make a circle here. We're going to go, and you can make that bigger if you wanted to. Let's go like this here, and then we're just going to hit right click. We're going to hit copy. We're going to paste. We're going to do that right there, and they're going to shift that, and then we're going to go modeling here. The ears weren't looking right, so we're going to go with the concave here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring them down like that, and we're going to hit apply. Let's see what it does. Too much. Okay, I think you just got to mess with it here. We're just can bring this down a little bit more. We're at like 36%, 27%, and I think that's good. You can get a base height. Set the base height at 0. Again, you can make these bigger. They would probably actually look bigger. It's just trying to give you a general idea that you could do this. So, it's not perfect. The ears, they're not going to be perfect, but again, it is just to show you can do this. So we're going to hit apply. We'll just call them ears. Apply. And we're going to close it. All right. Now you can see on here your 2D picture is now basically a height map, right? It's telling you that you have contours and grooves and all kind of stuff that machine needs to follow, and that's basically what you're looking for, that 3D grayscale, BMP, height map, whatever you want to call it. There's a million different things, but that's how you do it. So let's close out of here, and I think we're good with everything. What I want to do now is if I wanted to create a toolpath, I mean, I can make this bigger if I wanted to. I'm not going to. It's just for demonstration purposes. You can go to toolpath, and let me scroll this out of here. Toolpath, and then you can go to roughing, and if you want to, let me scroll that down here. We could go like this. Move my face over here. Toolpath, we'll hit OK, and yep, calculate, blah blah blah. I'm gonna bring this over a little bit more. And that block's way too big. We can change that. Again, it is just for demonstration purposes on how to model, not how to set up your size of wood or whatever you're working on. So we'll hit pre-select. Okay, select the toolpath, and you can see this is what it would do. I wish it wasn't going that slow, but long story short, that's your roughing. So once your roughing's done, you're going to go into your fine tuning, your ball nose bit, and you're going to clean it up, your finished path. And right here, we'll hit close, and then you can go into your finishing by clicking this right here. And whatever, we'll hit calculate. I'm not worried about the ball nose. I'm not worried about the size. We're just, like, again, what I said, we're just trying to show you the basics of 3D modeling on here. And once that's finished up, it's calculating, and it should be about done. I have a feeling it's going to go again. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer if you have some detail, but okay, I think we're done now. Okay, and then we'll hit calculate, we'll run. and this is what it will look like after you're done. So basically, that's about it. You know, very basic, very, very basic 3D modeling, but you can do it. So taking your 2D images, turning them into a 3D image, pretty simple, you know, and this is just a way for you to get into that 3D modeling if you wanted to, taking those 2Ds and turning them into 3Ds. And now you can create what you want. And again, you know, there's so much more advancement on here. If you wanted to, you could go into sculpting and, you know, just do all kind of stuff here. You know, you could remove, you can smudge, you know, there's just so much here. We'll just go like deposit, we'll go strength. Let's see if I can zoom that up. See, you can do all kind of different stuff in here, right? A lot of people make birds and trees and whatever. If I wanted to smudge it, I could go like this and smudge and some abstract art right there. You know, if I wanted to, I could smooth it out. Let me click that. You know, those are your tools. You can go to remove if you wanted to. You could adjust your strengths. You know, you can go show grayscale background and all that good stuff. But there's just so much to do. You can toggle here. Actually, to tell you the truth, some people in New York would probably buy this. $700 is yours. I'll print it out for you. So, and that's it, guys. And basically, again, this is your most basic type of 3D modeling, right? And we'll just hit discard on that because that's not very nice. If you want to, it is basic 3D modeling, and now you have your you know, height map, and you can do this with so many different things. You know, your cartoons and all that. So it's pretty cool. You know, and again, you could have done like a 45 degree or a 35 degree where this comes out a little bit more. It's more smooth. It's not so prominent. You know, you can do a lot of different stuff with this. So now you don't got to go out and spend $8,000 on your art camp, even though it's probably going to work better for you. You can do it in Vectric Aspire. So hope you like this video, and if you do, please smash that like button. Get a subscriber because we're going to come up with a lot more soon on this channel, and we'll just keep learning together. So appreciate you stopping by. We'll be back soon, guys.